What is going on, everybody? I made about $6,000 today trading ES futures. This trade took about 10 minutes to actually pull through, but I'll show you exactly why I took this trade and recap everything we talked about and saw today. So first thing, kind of going to the pre-market plan. Obviously, we always have a pre-market plan. One of my scenarios where if I close beneath this demand, which is a demand made during the London session I'm about to show you, as we have sold off from the top of the bounce range that I'll also show you, I would look for a short off the retest of this broken demand, kind of just as a bias confirmation. So right here, we have the chart of the ES, NASDAQ right here. I took the ES futures. I'm going to show you exactly why. So ever since the start of this month, we've been in a very, very obvious bounce range, right? And the most likely thing to happen when we're in a bounce range is when we test the top and bottom is for us to continue in the bounce range, top and bottom, right? So again, off the top of this range, I was already looking for shorts. Now, off the pre-market session here, right, we had the market open yesterday at 6 p.m. pump, right? Before that, we had Powell, which was a very, very dead reaction in my opinion. Market pumped back up, tested the bottom or the top of this bounce range and started to sell back off, right? In this sell-off or in this buy back up, we made a 1 hour demand right here, which is currently where the point of control is for the day, right? So as the market opened, let's go into the 5-minute time frame. Right here, we were pushing down into this demand that we made off the London Open, and I was looking for a break beneath this demand to confirm the bears are still there, right? I want to see the bears break a strong buy side level for us to continue down, and that's exactly what happened. So the issue with today and why I did not hold this trade on for a little bit longer, kind of into this demand we had right here, was we had Trump speaking about trade deals with the UK at 10. He was incredibly late, and he said a bunch of crap, bunch of bullshit. The market went up, down, didn't really care about most of what he said. Now the market's pumping. So I got out because he was speaking at 10. I took this trade about at 9:35, about 9:40. So I moved my stop to break even after I trimmed most of my trims were at 10 points around these. We'll go over the trade 72s, and then I moved my stop to break even. Usually I would not have moved my stop to break even. We could have taken a lot more of this setup, probably down to these 61s, which if you're all watching me live, that was my take profit level. I did this trade live. A lot of y'all took this with me, which is really, really nice. But let's break this down a little bit more. As the market was opening, right, we want to look for an aggressive break beneath demand. What will make it aggressive? Number one, look at the volume, right? Number two, let's open up the footprint chart and see how we had volume was a little bit weak today. I think it was because of Trump, but the delta was pretty strong. We're having a lot of sell side pressure on this move down. And then as this candle came back up here, my entry was right at this candle here around 940, so it was 940. We took our entry position around these 82s, and we took our biggest amount of profits down here, 72s for that 10-point range right above the sell and bounce. There's also a huge offer on the book map sitting there. My final TP was going to be these 61s, but after I took most of my contracts out, I took 15 total contracts for this position, took 13 out here, and then I had my stop loss back to break even. Obviously, you see it get wicked out at break even, and the market starts falling down to where our final TP would have been at these 61s, right? The 61s was a great level. I've also talked about how if you broke these 70s, also a major 5-minute level that we would have no issue flooding down. There was buy orders here, imbalances, and a major 5-minute level as well that we broke. So originally, I would have wanted to hold this longer, and I wouldn't have moved my stop to break even after that first trim. Probably would have trimmed a little bit less if there wasn't Trump. And also the VIX was not moving as well as I would have wanted it to move for this massive move down. So it's a little bit slow, right? A little bit slow as you kind of tell the VIX picked up a little bit as we started to pump back up. Could be because of what Trump said, could not be because of what Trump said, but that is the recap today. That was the plan. The plan was either to wait for us to respect this level, which when we found buyers, so my first instinct as we got down to this London side level, right, we had a pretty aggressive sell-off into it, number one. And as we started to get bought back up, look how weak the buyers are, 13, negative 800, negative 600. So the buy-up wasn't strong. And as we started coming back down, the sellers picked up like crazy. So I was already telling myself that, okay, maybe I do not want to go for a long at this level. And I said that to y'all this morning as well, as we sold off a major top of the balance range. The most likely thing is this for continue to go back down into the bottom of the range. So longs here were in the picture, but we need the extra confidence, right? When I'm going for longs off this zone, I want to wait for a 5-minute structure shift. I want to see big buyers present in the first move up, which there was not, right? I want to see sellers get exhausted or get absorbed. So we saw none of that. So we went for the short paid out. Nice $6,000 in this trade, guys. So we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, same time as always. If you want to watch me actually trade live, I'm trading live for free every single day. I'll put the link down below in the description, and I'll see y'all later.